What's up, people? I wanted to make a quick video about these COVID variants that have been making headlines recently and why they're more infectious. So it's kind of easy to understand. Just think of the COVID spike protein as a key and the way it gets into the cell as a lock that it needs to open up. The old spike protein kind of would take a while to open up that lock and get inside the cell, and now the new variants have mutated that, and so it's able to open that lock much faster. And the reason it's evading these vaccines is because it's able to do it quicker before the antibodies can kind of like get in there and respond to it. And you just kind of have to understand the way that happens at the microscopic level. So the actual spike protein at the microscopic level kind of looks like a Space Invader. If you remember that old video game, that old arcade game, kind of looks like that. And in the center, it has a binding domain. And in this binding domain, like everything at the microscopic level, it all works through electromagnetic charges. And in here, there's some like amino acids, and it has a specific charge. And the cell receptor, the ACE2 receptor, also has like a specific charge. And when they kind of match up, it binds and then it can get into the cell. And so what happened is that one of these amino acids changed in the binding domain, and now it's able to kind of attract itself much better to the receptor. So the affinity is what increased, and that's like the fancy term for just how much attraction there is between these two molecules. And so the new spike protein allows the coronavirus to bind much quicker to the cell and get inside before the antibodies come by and neutralize it. So that's why these new variants are kind of scary. Now, as far as are they more virulent, meaning more deadly, do they cause more damage to the body or the cells? We don't know that. We don't know yet whether the mRNA vaccines will be as effective as before. I think they will be more so than these other types, only because the way the mRNA vaccines worked is they made a lot more of the spike protein than these other vaccines, because the cells themselves, if you remember, like have the mRNA, and our own cell makes the spike protein and just kind of starts spitting them out everywhere. So if you're lucky enough to have had the mRNA vaccine, you might well know how bad you might feel the day after, because you have such a good immune response to these types of vaccines, because your cells are kind of constantly pumping out spike protein until that mRNA degrades. Versus old vaccines, they would just introduce the spike protein itself, kind of riding on top of another protein. And that's the way this Novavax vaccine works. Is this other one? It's kind of got the spike protein kind of riding on top of another one, just to kind of make it have the body respond to it a little bit better. So we still have to wait and see if these mRNA vaccines are effective. I think they will be, but again, nobody knows yet. But just the way they work, I feel like it'll still offer protection. So it's more important than ever you get vaccinated if you have a chance. And we just can't let any of these variants run wild or kind of like multiply. So the more we get on top of this, the better off it'll be for everyone. All right, guys, hopefully that helps. Have a good weekend. Take care.